Magician and Wild Strawberries and Smiles of a Summer Night or Day? Night. Yeah, that's one of my favorite of his films. I love that film. And at the same time, we had these masterpieces coming from Japan with the film directors Ozu and of course Kurosawa. So we were amazed with this international cinema. At the same time, we were caught in the middle between those and great films coming from Hollywood, the films of William Wyler and John Ford and and Orson Welles, who was only 26. So it was a really stimulating time. And then there were experimental films coming out actually from San Francisco, films that were non-linear and abstract, and it was just such a rich time to be influenced. You didn't know, on one hand you wanted to make films for the studios, because that was the film industry and that's how you could make a living, and at the same time we wanted to make personal films, auteur films as it was known as, or experimental films that could have a small budget that you didn't need, and it was a confusing but exciting time because you almost didn't know which way to go. Ultimately, because I had ultimately wanted to be a writer, I wanted to write films that I could direct myself, so that I would have the benefit of, not having, I began in Hollywood as a screenwriter, and I wrote many scripts and were done, but I wanted to direct it myself. And it was ironic because originally I wanted to be a writer and I became a director. Then a very funny story happened to me once when I was a student at UCLA. I was very poor, beyond poor. I mean, to get something to eat was, I had a wonderful directing teacher named Dorothy Arzner, who was really one of the first great Hollywood film directors who was a woman. She directed all of those Joan Crawford pictures in the 20s and 30s. She was a wonderful lady, and she would bring biscuits and cookies to class because she knew we were starving. So I was going to tell you a story, but I forgot which story I was going to tell. There are so many stories.
Okay. No. But considering the 70s, I mean,